Oh man, I'm bad with. You know what? We'll just use this. Man, I suck at this. uh, I am gonna had an idea for something, and I don't know. I wanted to do it. I like the SCP Foundation. I like a lot of the stuff they have, but not every SCP is made equally. So I had the brilliant idea of ranking SCPs, but I'll also read through them. I'll read them out loud, so you can just read along, or you can just listen. You don't have to actually uh, watch the video necessarily, unless you want to see my beautiful face. Anyway, I'm just gonna go through random ones. I don't want to start at like one and then go all the way up, because that doesn't feel that fun to me. I just wanna do like a random one, and I like determine what it is. If I think it's really cool, I'll put it high tier. If it's not very good, there are some of those that just are not every SCP is made equally. All right, not every SCP is made equally. I don't know why I wanted to do this. It just seemed fun because I don't know. It's easier to focus on, I guess, and it's just I haven't read it in a while. I haven't done a lot of SCP stuff. Um, it's not well. It should be an interesting stream. Um, we'll see. Actually, I already have a SCP pulled up. It is 658. I don't know the name of it. I have never read this one, so I will check it out. If anyone has suggestions, you can type them in chat, and I'll check it out. And well, we'll read. So I mean, let's go. All right. The first SCP that we have is SCP-658. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. Any small instance of SCP-658 measuring no more than 50 centimeters in the largest dimension, when not involved in experimentation, is to be stored alone with a steel box, preferably kept closed via simple low-tech means, such as tying with strings or duct tape, or weighing down the lid. Boxes with external mechanical or electronic locks are to be avoided for this purpose. Boxes with mechanism accessible from the inside must not be used. Larger instances of SCP-658 are to be destroyed as soon as possible. Yeah, a lot of these ones have like an SCP, I don't know why they don't destroy more of them, but I guess it's some kind of like keep it alive or something like that. You know what I'll do? Boom. Easy. Unless exposure is necessary for sake of experimentation, every instance of SCP-658 is to be kept at least 3 meters from all electronic devices, as well as all notable complex mechanical machinery. When in doubt as to whether an item belongs to such a category, personnel are to err on the side of caution. Devices affected by SCP-658 must not be, or when not used for experimentation, are to be destroyed. Machinery affected by SCP-658 must not be connected to an electrical outlet for any amount of time. Okay, so just from this paragraph, these two paragraphs, it has something to do with electronic, something like that. Description. Each instance of SCP-658 is an autonomous robotic device. Size and weight varies widely. Specimens as small as 5 millimeters or as large as redacted meters have been observed. The bottom half of each specimen contains 4 spider-like, highly flexible legs and a single eye. Appearance and structure of upper half is different in every SCP-658. Okay, so it's just a small robot. Or large robot, depending on what that is. SCP-658 remains active at all times, despite appearing to lack any power source, while behavior varies between instances. When otherwise unoccupied, most tend to explore their surroundings. SCP-658 is capable of running at varying speeds, climbing up even flat vertical walls, and swimming. SCP-658 are capable of reproduction, achieved through impregnating other machines. Machines in this case is essentially defined as any complex man-made mechanism. This includes items as disparate as wristwatches, typewriters, personal computers, motor vehicles, and, though rarely, other SCP-658. Impregnation is carried out via a poorly understood process that requires only a momentary physical contact. As a result of the process, an embryo will appear inside the machine, hereafter referred to as host. Okay. The embryo initially appears to be a featureless lump of plastic and metal measuring 1 mm, but develops and quickly grows within its host. As an embryo expands, it connects and incorporates increasingly more of its host's internal mechanisms into its own structure. The embryo partially takes on the task of maintaining the functions of its host, whose users usually fail to notice anything amiss, and believe that the host machine is working no less effectively than usual. However, visible minor glitches and anomalies, as well as external deformations, tend to appear towards the end of digestation. Okay. The embryo will also break down some of the host machine's internal components, both for purposes of constructing its own body and for weakening the host's structural integrity in preparation for birth. At the end of the gestation cycle, which takes a varying amount of time depending on the nature of the host, the embryo, now developed into a mature SCP-658, exits its host by ripping it apart. The new SCP-658 immediately assumes behavior typical for other SCP-658 instances. In particular, it is immediately capable of reproduction. That's... Size, form, and behavior of the new SCP-658 depends on the host machine. See log below. Okay. So... it's a reproductive machine, like little robot, I guess, little robot dude, and it like does the alien thing to robots. Okay, that's interesting. It's a nightmare for me, but for like normal people, I suppose it's not that big a deal. I guess we'll find out. Mechanical wristwatch. Gestation period, 18 hours. Resultant. Oh, wait, notes. Resultant SCP-658 measures 1.5 by 1 by 0.5 centimeters. Upper half of the SCP-658 is occupied by a mass of clock hands jutting out in all directions. SCP-658 walks ceaselessly in a circle, the radius of which increases with time, currently 1,065 meters. It attempts to climb or damage any object in its path and resists any third party that tries to change its course. But, like, it says it's resist, but does that mean that it's immune? Like if you just pick it up and, like, punt it, you know, does that, like, mean it doesn't, like, does it just run back to where it was? Does it, like, fight the person that punted it? I really don't know. I'm unsure. Alright. Standard issue pistol of security guard, call him Charlie. 3 days. Resultant SCP-658 measured 10 by 4 by 5 centimeters. Immediately upon emergence, object fired at researchers entering Dr. Lang and Dr. Bright, and fragile objects in the vicinity. SCP-658 was capable of firing ceaselessly for approximately 1 minute, then took approximately 2 minutes to replenish its ammo through unknown means. Destroyed. What? Okay, why would you... that had to be an accident. There's no way that you would just give an SCP, like, let's see what happens when we give him a pistol. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, bro, let's do that. Uh, Computer keyboard, 6 days. Resultant SCP-658 measured 31 by 9 by 1 centimeter. Object has an assemblage of keys with letters and numbers as its upper half. The keys depress themselves rapidly every 30 seconds, spelling out the message, "Ask, we will answer." When any complete sentence is typed on this key by a third party, SCP-658 stops and remains immobile for an hour before resuming prior behavior. So either this log doesn't include the answers, or it just didn't answer. And I think that's very funny. I like the second one more. Action figure depicting the popular character blank or redacted with electronic components. We'll say it's G.I. Joe or something. 10 days. Resultant SCP-658 measured 5 by 2 by 2 centimeters. Object's legs appear human-like. Upper half of object. I'm sorry. Wow, I just hang on. Upper half of object occupied by an imitation of a bald human head without eyes. Head is capable of vocalizations. Nearly all of these are imitations of things spoken in its vicinity. Okay. That's... I mean, I guess what do you expect, you know? A color TV, 14 days. Resultant SCP-658 measured 45 by 45 by 20 centimeters. Upper half of object occupied by a single video screen, which consistently displayed shaky, colorless footage of an unmoving human figure suspended in midair within a featureless room, tentatively identified as data expunged. So they know what the image is? Is it like hacking into like a security camera of facility that's like watching an SC? I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Eventually. Years from now, maybe. An instance of SCP-658. Approximately 30 days. Rather than destroying its host, the embryo seems to have fused with it permanently. Resultant combination of SCP-658 has been described as resembling conjoined twins. Objects are capable of impregnating machinery as usual, with 2 embryos implanted instead of 1. Okay, so it's like melding together, I guess. Entire public address system of site blank. Unknown. Time and place of original impregnation unknown. In this incident, the SCP-658 pregnancy displayed capability to spread along electrical wiring somehow. Sometime in the 1900s, instances of SCP-658, 40 by 20 by 15 centimeters, all emerged simultaneously from loudspeakers through the site. The objects were typically outfitted with a chaotic array of speakers, broadcasting various arbitrary transmissions at full volume. The song "Happy Birthday" reoccurred among the transmissions with unusual frequency. Outbursts of SCP-658 eventually subdued, but at least 4 specimens escaped into the wild. Is that... Okay. Okay, that's SCP-658. I kind of like this SCP. It seems very whimsical in a lot of ways. I mean, not this part, but you know, other times it seems very funny. I don't know. Not for me. I'm an android, so that's horrifying for me. But for like normal people, you know what? I like that one. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just adorable. I'm gonna rank it. Yeah, I'm not using a real tier list because there's gonna be like 8,000 on here. So let's I give it an A rank. I think that's a well-written, simple, just fun kind of SCP. These might move around, but you know, it's yeah, I liked it. It was just goofy, kinda, you know. It was goofy. It didn't take itself that seriously. It still had some interesting concepts, you know. Yeah, I'd say that's... I did a thumbs up, or I tried to, but I couldn't do it. That's good. That's good. That's good. Go to a random page. If it's not an SCP, then we'll just skip to a different one. SCP-3665. Okay, so after the 3000 series, I don't really know anything about them. This looks like a short one. Okay. SCP-3665. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3665 is to be contained in a standard safe class locker in Site-19. In the event that the package imitation blood contained within SCP-3665 runs out, blood obtained from D-Class personnel may be used. During testing, research staff are advised to ensure that the powder used in the activation of SCP-3665-1 is not lost. Okay. That doesn't really tell me that much. Description. SCP-3665 is a 15 by 10 by 3.5 centimeter package of powdery substance labeled as Instant Demon Just Add Blood, with a depiction of a stylized male and female demon with ram-like horns and bat-like wings on either side of the text. Inside the package, there is a moderate amount of dry powder of an unidentified substance or mixture of substances having the overall consistency of talcum powder. Also packaged is a small plastic container of imitation blood, containing what appears to be cranberry juice, red food coloring, and a currently unidentified substance along with instructions for use. Does that... Okay, here we go. Homo fugae. Latin for man-fly. This is believed to be a reference to the play Dr. Faustus, as SCP-3665-1 has also referenced this play on occasion. The scene from Dr. Faustus in which the phrase is used involves the words appearing on the titular character's arms, warning him not to sign a contract with the demon Mephistopheles. Okay. You must be Mephisto. Thank you for purchasing Instant Demon Just Add Blood by Asmodeus Labs. We always strive to give you the best experience in summoning forces more ancient and powerful than man will ever be, from the comfort of your own home. Are you tired of having to swear eternal loyalty to dark forces every time you want material wealth beyond your wildest dreams? Wish that succubus would quit droning about the details of your 24-year contract and suck on this? Okay. Well, now there's a better way. Using our state-of-the-art occult technology, we've bundled the whole evocation process into an easy-to-access powder. Now even little Tommy can start raising hell. Literally. All you have to do is follow these easy instructions, and one of our fine spirits will be with you shortly. Step 1. Pour the powder out of the package onto a flat surface. Step 2. Drop 3 drops of our imitation blood on the powder and use it to write your name. No worries for you diehard occultists out there. Real blood works as well. I needed to know that. Yeah, thank you. Step 3. Wait and enjoy. When you're done, just collect the powder back in the bag, and you're ready to use it again. Bag cover. Asmodeus Labs is a company hell-bent on making the powers of darkness easy for the whole family to access. If this one demon doesn't satisfy you, we'll hope you come visit us for some more exciting products. Knowledge is power. The illusion of power is the illusion of knowledge. Asmodeus Labs. This right here is... I wasn't on board. Like, I was like, this is kind of cheesy and dumb. And then this little section right here is amazing. And I understand it now. Alright. When these instructions are followed, the powder around the area where the subject's name was written will begin to steam and will continually do so for roughly 20 minutes. Following this, SCP-3665-1 will appear to the individual who activated SCP-3665, appearing first as a red mist before adopting its usual form, expressing discontent that it must limit itself to such a lowly form and greet the individual who summoned it. So, I like the idea that this demon shows up and is just like in front of like a bunch of SCP personnel, and it's just like, Oh, I have to. I'm such a lowly form, and the SCP are like, yeah, get on with it, and like start like writing down things on a clipboard. That's amazing. SCP-3665-1 is an entity that is only perceptible to the individual who activated SCP-3665. Exact features such as gender, age, and ethnicity vary based on the individual, but SCP-3665-1 is often... We're just going to call him SCP-1. No, that's a bad idea. I don't know what I'll call it. I guess I'll just do the same thing. Is most often described to be a humanoid with the addition of features similar to the depiction of a demon or evil spirit, such as horn-like protrusions from the head, bat-like wings, and a short tail. What the footnote says. This appears to be a variable depending on what the subject considers a demon or evil spirit to be. One researcher who was raised in Eastern Asia reported SCP-3665-1 to appear as a human wearing an Oni mask with red skin. SCP-3665-1 will speak in the language best known to the individual who activates SCP-3665 and appears to have an innate knowledge of the subject's history, personal life, and preferences. SCP-3665-1 appears to be unaware of or unwilling to acknowledge anyone except the individual who summoned it, is able to seemingly remember specific events when activated by the same person multiple times, but is unable to or unwilling to recall events that happened when it was activated by another individual. While present, SCP-3665-1 will perform tasks that are assigned to it by the individual who activated SCP-3665. However, actions that SCP-3665-1 appears to take do not affect anything other than the subject's perception. For instance, if asked to move a cup from one table to another, the subject would visualize moving the cup. No one other than the subject would... I'm just going to call it a demon. That's probably the best thing I could do. No one other than the subject would see the cup moving. However, when the demon expires, the cup would be in its original position. SCP-3665-1 is also... I just said his full name again. Seemingly unable to cause anyone serious injury or do anything that would significantly affect the surrounding area due to it... Wow, I'm struggling. Due to its only being able to affect the subject's perception. If asked to do something that is unable to do, the demon will respond with, "Leave these frivolous demands which strike a terror to my faint soul." Do with that footnote. Another quote from Dr. Faustus, in which the scene involves a demon refusing to elaborate on the nature of hell. The demon will react similarly if asked a question the subject is unaware of the answer to. This can include giving incorrect information if the subject holds an untrue belief. After 2 hours, SCP, or the demon, will begin to disappear, described as evaporating slowly. During its time, all changes to the subject's perception will be reverted. Testing log. Oh, that's a lot of tests. Okay. Let's go through it. Template. Note. During testing, personnel are required to transcribe requests and visual responses from the demon, which will make up the transcribe response portion of the testing log. So this is all in 2017. Okay, subject Dr. Reynard. Subject's request. The demon is asked who or what it is. Transcribed response. Lowly human who dares to question my nature when knowledge of it would strike fear into thy very soul. I am a demon called here to fulfill your will. Call me what you will. Okay. Hang on, give me a second. Man. You know, I hit full screen on this thing, And I have the dumb streamer tag for a reason. I forgot F11 was my streaming button. That's very embarrassing. Alright. Basically, I guess the YouTube video will be fine, but I was like, oh man. Why am I offline? Now I know. Now I know. We just went through SCP-3665. I'll give a short description of it. It's basically the actual SCP is a package that's basically like grow your own demon. It's like a weird illusion demon, though. It doesn't actually do anything. I'm in the test logs right now. The demon that grows from it is called 3665-1. I'm just calling it the demon, though. Man, that's embarrassing. I keep forgetting that that's my streaming button. I should probably change it, to be honest. Make it a little more complex so I don't accidentally hit it. Let's see. Dr. Reynard. I guess this is all the same test, actually. Because it's all in the same year. The demon was told that it would be called Bob for the remainder of the testing period. Transcribe response. Yes, 'tis indeed a good name that shall strike terror into the hearts of all good and holy men. All shall fear the name of Bob. Bob's a pretty scary name. Yeah, okay. Dr. Reynard. Okay, next test. Demon was told to retrieve a cup of coffee. The demon leaves the room for roughly 20 seconds. The demon returns with a cup of coffee that's hot to the touch and tastes like coffee. Put empty cup on coffee down on table. Dr. Reynard made motions that indicated he was seeing a cup of coffee in front of him, reported feeling re-energized after drinking it. It is believed this is a result of the placebo effect. Dr. Reynard. Subject's request. The demon was told to retrieve a small cup of water and pour it on Dr. Reynard. Response. The demon leaves the room for roughly 20 seconds. The demon returns with a cup of water and pours it on Dr. Reynard. Dr. Reynard experiences discomfort, but his clothes and body are not wet to the touch. Okay. I need to send a message. Let's see. Okay, subject, Dr. Reynard. Note, an object is placed behind the door to the testing chamber. Dr. Reynard is unaware of what the object is, but where that one has been placed. Subject's request. Dr. Reynard instructs SCP, or the demon, to open the door, allowing himself to see what the object is. Response. Leave these frivolous demands which strike a terror to my fainting soul. It was unable to do so. Okay. So, okay, this is a weird SCP. I mean, I kind of like it, but also, I don't know. It's a little bizarre. In like a, not necessarily, I don't know. It's a kind of a cool concept, but it's a bit weird, I guess. Okay. Or subject, all this is Dr. Reynard, so I'm just gonna go through the request and the response. The demon was asked why it follows instructions when summoned. I am bound to the terms of our contract. Gesture towards SCP-3665. Alas, were I not, I would spread evil across this land as my ilk did in the days of old. Count thy blessings, human. Okay. Demon is asked to create who created SCP-3665 and by extension the contract. It's the one where he does the leave these frivolous demands which strike a terror into my fainting soul. Dr. Reynard noted that this was stated in the same tone of voice and notation as the previously stated, likened to a pre-recorded message. Dr. Reynard. The demon has asked for information regarding the individuals affiliated with Asmodeus Labs. Response. Per equalum respectu coitus. Another quote from Dr. Faustus, in which the demon provides an elusive response to one of the titular character's scientific questions. The Latin translation is unequal motion with respect to the whole thing. Dr. Reynard not read Dr. Faustus at the time. Okay, interesting. This is the first recorded instance of the demon issuing response that indicated it may have some knowledge of who or what created it. Are you sure? I mean, I guess. Did Dr. Faustus create it? Request. The demon is asked what its meaning behind the previous response was in regards to the previous test log. My contractors are elusive, but Solomon Miseris Dosius Habusi Dolores. Get over here, Dolores. Do you crave real power? Find us at the crossroad. Investigation of the previous response is ongoing. Further tests in which the demon is questioned as to his origins are scheduled to take place at a later date. Also, a quote from Dr. Faustus, the scene from which involves the demon Mephistopheles explaining why Lucifer tempts humans. The Latin translation is, to the unhappy, it is a comfort to have had company in misery. Or more simply, misery loves company. Okay. I'm gonna rank this one. I think, for now, it's a B tier. I found 658 more interesting. But I do kind of like the whimsical nature that this SCP is kind of like the whole this thing making the powers of darkness easy for the whole family to access is wonderful. I love that. That's amazing. Go to a random page again. Wilson's Wildlife Solutions. We want to get to SCPs. Okay. Why are you taking me to one page? I guess I can. Oh, okay, I click on. Oh. I click on SCP down here underneath the random, and it takes me to random SCP. Okay. I was just hitting random page, and I guess I got lucky. SCP-1148. Object Class. Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1148 is to remain situated on the window hereafter referred to as SCP-1148-1. To this end, SCP-1148-1 is to be embedded in a wall dividing a standard containment room in two. Reading is tough, guys. I don't know if you know, but reading is tough. Illumination of no less than 100 watts is to be provided in the entrance division of the room, while the second division is to remain unlit. In case of power loss, chemiluminescent sources sufficient for 24 hours are mandated. Illumination between the room sections must never fall below a difference of 75 watts. There's a little image up here. That is a very creepy image, I will say. Yeah, this is a short SCP. I'm okay with short SCPs. Let me actually get through some of these. God, it's gonna take me forever. Description: SCP-1148 is the reflected image currently maintained on SCP-1148-1. It appears identical to the reflection that should occur naturally on the surface of SCP-1148-1, aside from those minor discrepancies outlined below. SCP-1148 totally obstructs the view outward through SCP-1148-1, despite the transparency of the underlying glass. Subjects who view the illuminated side of SCP-1148-1 are initially oblivious to the presence of SCP-1148, beyond that of any ordinary reflection. Observation from the opposite side of SCP-1148-1 yields no reflections and has been found asymptomatic. After approximately 15 minutes of exposure, the first documented symptoms begin to manifest. Effects are as listed: paranoia regarding what is behind SCP-1148, a feeling of being watched, a fixation on observing SCP-1148 despite a desire to turn away. Within 5 minutes of the appearance of these symptoms, my mouse was in the way, subjects report citing transient figures as part of SCP-1148. These figures should not be present as part of the true reflection, are described as disappearing upon intentional viewing, and include a man cloaked in a black hood, a large winged biped, and a pair of glowing eyes. Ooh, this one's kind of creepy, I like it. Within an additional 5 minutes of exposure, subjects express an irrational desire to approach SCP-1148. Reasons are varied, but are often explained as wanting to close SCP-1148-1 or draw a blind, despite the fact that SCP-1148-1 is neither capable of opening nor has any covering. Okay. So, what? Okay, I guess we'll get to it. Never mind. Upon moving within 2 centimeters of SCP-1148, an unseen force is witnessed to act upon the subject, drawing them closer. While invisible to external observers, various hysterical victims describe a pair of disembodied arms emerging from SCP-1148. Said limbs extend to approximately elbow length and are assumed to be humanoid, acting to pull the subject inside SCP-1148. No subject has yet been recovered following this incident. Interesting. Okay. Billy versus Snake. Okay. At the present time, no method of independently containing SCP-1148 can be ascertained. Equal illumination of both sides of SCP-1148-1 is expected to remove SCP-1148, but based on information gathered before its collection, it would most likely be transported to another suitable reflective surface. All known appearances of SCP-1148 have occurred on unbacked vertical plates having at least 1 meter of clearance behind them, and which are capable of transmitting light through their entirety. Windows, sliding doors, windscreens. Proximity is thought to be the deciding factor in this transfer, but testing has been postponed due to the large risk of breach. So I guess it's like a mirror dimension, right? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, we got a transcript to read. Alright, subject enters illuminated that was my chair. Subject enters illuminated side of containment chamber. Subject, okay doc, so what am I supposed to do? There's nothing in here but a chair and a window. Let's go with Kell. Dr. Kell. No action is required at this time. All you must do is remain in the room. How do you feel? Subject, fine, I guess. Am I supposed to feel anything? Hey, is there something behind that window? I can't tell where it goes. Dr. Kell, please refrain from asking questions. Only information regarding your emotional and mental state is needed at this time. So that was at midnight. At 1:15, subject remains seated in the folding chair provided. He faces the wall perpendicular to SCP-1148-1. Dr. Kell, do you notice any changes in your mentality? Subject, nothing so far, Doc. I'm kind of bored sitting here. Could you be thrown in a TV or a magazine or something? Yeah, they should have given him a magazine. I guess maybe that would probably ruin the experiment. But come on, man, poor guy. He's just sitting in a chair for like... Oh. I'm yawning. I'm sorry. That's a minute and 15 seconds. It's not midnight. That's just a minute and 15 seconds. Okay, 14 minutes and 37 seconds. Until this time, the subject has remained essentially stationary in the aforementioned chair. No feelings other than boredom have been reported. Subject, hey Doc, I think I'm starting to get somewhere. I've been feeling sort of creeped out just sitting here. Please elaborate. How do you feel exactly? Dunno. Just sort of uncomfortable in my own skin, you know? It isn't right in here. What did you say was behind the window again, Doc? Dr. Kell, can you be more specific? Subject turns to face SCP-1148-1 and immediately resumes former position. It's like something is watching me. I don't like this. Can we stop now? What's behind that glass, Doc? You gotta tell me. Doctor, there is no cause for alarm. Remain seated and continue the test. Subject turns towards SCP-1148-1, this time maintaining his gaze. Come on, Doc, this isn't cool. I swear something's looking at me from behind that window. That thing. Behind that thing. Is that supposed to be, like, stammering? I don't know. Typo, I guess. Why can't I see through it? What'd you guys put back there? Come on. 20 minutes and 17 seconds, subject has exhibited a pattern of glancing at SCP-1148-1, then breaking eye contact for the last several minutes. Observations are increasing in duration and now last several seconds. Subject is also visibly agitated. Okay, Doc, this isn't funny anymore. I want to stop. Can't take it. Doctor, please specify. What can't you take? Subject. It's too much. I swear I'm not alone. What is going on behind that, or what is behind that glass, Doc? I know there's something. What is it? I can't see it. Tell me what's going on. Subject is becoming increasingly fixated on SCP-1148-1. Despite his requests to leave the containment area, he has not left a chair. His pattern of glances continue. Subject. Holy shit! What is that thing? I swear it was there. I can't see it. Doctor. Please describe what you have seen. Subject. It was like, I don't know, like big, like a guy or something in the window. There were wings, definitely wings. There it is again. Wait, where'd it go? I'm not crazy, Doc. Why won't you tell me what's on the other side of that window? Subject displayed a frenzied observation pattern. He is highly distressed by this observation. Subject remains seated. I'm glad I have blinds on all my windows now. It's amazing. Windows are made by the devil. Please continue. Your experiences are vital to the experiment. Subject. No way, Doc. No way. I can see it in the corner of my eye. Why can't I get a clear view? Why are you doing this to me? What the hell's is behind that window? I know it can see me. Why can't I see it? Tell me what's going on. At 24 minutes and 41 seconds, subject has maintained his position, has become very erratic. He claims to see horrific images in the peripheral vision. No clear descriptions have yet been provided. His view of SCP-1148-1 is now almost continuous. Hey Doc, I'm feeling a bit better. Sorry how I was acting before. It's creepy as hell in here though. Doctor, are you still feeling distressed? Are there any more figures in the reflection? Subject. I still want to know what's behind that thing, Doc. Why won't you tell me? That thing seems to have disappeared mostly though. I still don't like it in here. How much longer is this going to take? Doctor, the experiment will continue until we have recorded all relevant data. Please attempt to describe what you have seen. Subject. Doc, how long has that window been opened? I think it's a good idea to leave it like that. Or do you think it's a good idea to leave it like that with that thing out there? I think I should close it. Subject stands and begins approaching SCP-1148-1. He never breaks eye contact. He appears unaware that SCP-1148-1 has no hinge and is incapable of moving. Subject. I've got to close it, Doc. There's no way I'm letting that thing in here. No way. Screw your test. I'm not dying for this. I don't care what you have back there as long as it stays the hell put. When you put all caps at the bottom of your transcript, it's hard to ignore. Like, I know what's going to happen now because it's in all caps. It would be better if it was just like a little transcript at the bottom, I think. I don't know. And it just like was the doctor describing like this type of talk, but describing like what happened to the subject. Subject makes physical contact with the frame of SCP-1148-1. Subject. Holy shit, no, Jesus Christ, no. Doctor. What's happening? Describe your experience. Subject. Make it stop, Jesus fucking And then this experiment was concluded following the absorption of D31415. No remains were ever recovered following his disappearance. I bet he's living happily on the other side with the Mothman. Okay. It's okay. It's all right, you know. It's not like amazing. It's decent. It's creepy. It's got a decent report log. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Subject to change. You know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Maybe is it? Is it as good as, like, were these on the same level? Yeah, I guess it's, you know, I guess it's this same level. You know, it's pretty good. I think I like 3665 a little more because it doesn't take itself seriously. And it kind of knows what it is. Like this down here, this just feels kind of cheesy, is all, you know. But I don't know. This up here is pretty good though. I like all this. The experiment log is kind of cheesy though. Otherwise, pretty good, pretty good. Go to a random SCP. I'm sorry? Why did, well, it changed? What the? Okay, what's going on with the website? Okay, I guess this is the new stuff, but random doesn't take me to random anymore. Okay. Oh my god. This one's so long. uh, all right. Strap in, everyone. This is... Okay, containment class, or... Says, okay, item number 4625. Containment class, Euclid. Disruption class, VLAM. Risk class, Notice. I'm still not used to this system, essentially. I think we'll do, like, after... see how long it takes to get through this one, and then we'll go to another one. Okay, so we'll do one more, and then I'll switch over to something else. Special containment procedure. SCP-4625 is to be held in a standard humanoid containment cell outfitted with 4 Scranton reality anchors and an infrared security camera. SCP-4625 is to undergo counseling with Commander Idani Daniels on a weekly basis. That means a person? Is this a person? I kind of wish we had gotten the frog now. Oh well. Okay, I guess they made this newer ranking system, or rating system, after the 3000 series. I could be wrong though. Okay. Description: SCP-4625 is a male humanoid of French descent. Okay, it is a person. Although the subject appears to be 25 years of age physically and biologically, the subject has said that it was born in 1915, making the subject at least 105 years old. So this was written in 2010? 2020. Okay. I know math. The subject is a low-level type green and is capable of the distortion of visible light rays and noise cancellation over a limited radius. Testing has determined that the subject's ability has a radius of 40 meters. Okay. Subject was first discovered by a lost group of hitchhikers in blank, Spain, 20 kilometers from the Pyrenees mountain range. The group has come across a seemingly abandoned log cabin. Upon entry, they discovered SCP-4625, who was startled by the group and rendered itself invisible. It was caused by SCP-4625 manipulating the light rays around him to reflect at different angles, creating a field of invisibility. Interesting. The group was alarmed and fled the cabin. They eventually encountered forest wardens who were searching for them. The hikers subsequently recounted the incident to the forest wardens. Foundation assets were alerted to the incident. An MTF Omega-12 Achilles heel was deployed to contain SCP-4625. Upon arrival at the cabin, they located SCP-4625 within the cabin. SCP-4625 did not resist being apprehended and was brought to Site-37. Okay. Interview. Okay. SCP-4625. Dr. Lucas Castile. Our interviewer, Dr. Lucas Castile. Forward. Following SCP-4625's arrival at Site 37, it was interviewed and determined its abilities and previous history. Dr. Lucas. My name is Dr. Lucas Castile. So they don't redact the names anymore? Like, shouldn't they? I guess it's a safe class entity, so it's not that big of a deal. And I guess it's not a very dangerous entity either. SCP-4625. My name is Jean-Paul Balma. I was born in 1915, a year after the Great War had started. Dr. Lucas. Very well. If it's fine by you, I'm going to call you Jean. or John. I'm just going to call him John as well. John. Mon Docteur. Nailed that. Dr. Lucas. Great. Could you explain those powers? How do you use them? From what we've heard, when those hikers found you, you somehow turned yourself invisible. John. It's a poor man's invisibility. I alter the light around me so that I can't be seen by others, like this. John proceeds to turn his right hand invisible. Visible light cameras in the room are unable to detect Jean's right hand. However, his hand does appear on infrared scanners. Jean dispels the illusion and on the hand after several seconds. Like I said, reading's tough. Dr. Lucas. Interesting. Not many anomalies can do that. Any other abilities that you have? SCP or Jean. Do you have a phone with you? Dr. Lucas. Yeah, I do. Why? Jean. Ask them if they can hear me scream. Dr. Lucas winces slightly. Dear Lord. Bit of warning next time, do you mind? This is... Okay. John. Ask them. I don't know why it took me so long to pick up where I left off. Dr. Lucas complies. Dr. Lucas. They heard nothing, so I'm guessing it's a sort of muffling effect? John. You could say that, Doctor. Dr. Lucas pulls out a TXT 462501 and places it on the table. Text. Okay, it's a diary discovered in John's former residence. John tenses up on seeing the item. Where'd you find that? Did you read it? We found it at your residence, and well, we've partially transcribed what was in here. Stands up shouting, What? No, you shouldn't have read it. It's my book. You shouldn't have touched it. Fils de pute. I'll kill you. Guards immediately enter the room, sexually restrained and sedate. John. Closing statement. Following the interview, Jean was brought back to its containment unit and refused to communicate with any members of staff since then. Following excerpts were taken from the text document. Certain parts of the text are illegible due to damage. Excerpt 01. I saw many people marching on the streets today. The man with the loud voice said they wouldn't do anything to us if they were peaceful. Mommy said not to trust them. That evening we said our prayers, then Mommy packed our Star of David into a box. Daddy came back from the cafe across the street looking scared. He made us smile and played with me, but later on I heard him telling Mommy that we need to leave before they take us away. Mommy said she doesn't know where to go, but Daddy said he knew some people who could help us. Then Daddy saw me peeking from the doorway and told Mommy that he would talk to the people tomorrow. I thought that was my cursor, this eye, because it's like the same size. Mommy looked tired and sad. As Daddy tucked me in, I asked him if we were leaving. He said we would only be gone for a while, so I don't have to worry. Then I saw Mommy burning a box from the window. Excerpt 2. I feel very lonely. I don't see my friends anymore. Their houses are empty and Daddy and Mommy don't let me go outside anymore. They said it's not safe outside. There are a lot of stones and broken things that can hurt me. I did see my friend Sammy yesterday. There were a group of men that went to his house. One of them had a scary silver eagle on his cap. They made Sammy and his family leave their house. I heard a lot of loud bangs once they left, so I cuddled up with my teddy bear to feel safe. Okay, this got really dark. Daddy came home looking very strange. He asked me to start packing my things because we were leaving soon. I asked him what was happened to Sam and his family, but Daddy didn't say anything. Hope they are all right. Daddy brought a friend to the house. He called himself Jean. He was very polite. He even called me the prettiest little lady he had ever met. Okay, I thought this was John's, but it's not. Okay, interesting. I guess he would be kind of old to be saying mommy and daddy at that point. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Daddy laughed and said that he had to discuss something important with John, and went to his study. I tried to listen through the door, but I couldn't hear anything. I didn't even hear when they walked to the door and opened it, so I fell down and bruised my knee. John knelt down and took a tiny cloth from his pocket and tied it around my knee, telling me it would be gone in no time. I like John. He's a very nice person. We left home in the middle of the night. Daddy made me leave behind a lot of things, but he says we'll buy them all again for me once we're safe. At least he let me bring my teddy bear. It's not so scary at night with my teddy bear. Daddy brought me and my mommy to a nearby shop. Daddy had a few words with the shopkeeper before he brought us to the back of the shop and got us onto a truck. I don't know why, this text is messing me up. It's like a CAPTCHA and I can't read it. We traveled for a very long time on the truck, so Mommy read to me my favorite fairy tale until I fell asleep. Mommy woke up, hang on. I was doing something, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I was checking something. Okay, where was I? Daddy brought me and Mommy to a nearby shop. Daddy had a few words with the shopkeeper before he brought us to the back of the shop and got us onto a truck. We traveled for a very long time on the truck, so Mommy read to me my favorite fairy tale until I fell asleep. Mommy woke me up when we reached the forest, so it was very dark and quiet. Daddy led us to the woods, where we also met John and a lot of other people like us. I played quietly with some of the children and showed off my cute teddy bear while Mommy and Daddy talked to John. I'm so tired. We hiked for so long through the forest till we reached the mountains. We stayed in one of the caves for most of the day. A lot of the adults are sleeping, but I was not sleepy, so I decided to write in my diary, but my pencil lid broke. I started crying until Jean came over and asked me what was wrong. I showed him my pencil and he frowned. "That won't do," he said, and checked all of his pockets until he found another pencil. He told me that it was a magic pencil, so long as I believed it wouldn't text illegible. Break? I'm guessing? I don't know. Okay. I asked him why we were running away, and he said it was because of bad people who want to do bad things to people. I asked him why the bad people were like that. He told me that in life some people want to do bad things to feel good. I got scared and some started crying again. But John held my hand and told him that they're also good people, and as long as I believed in them, good would always win. After that, the damage found on the text is consistent with blood spatter and fire damage. Oh boy, this is a lot to read. Let me take a break for a second. I should get a water, honestly. Okay. Let me try this. Let's do this again. Human skeletons. Oh, okay. Wow, that's something to come read. Okay. A team was sent to the location in the Pyrenees mountain range that was obtained from the text. The following items of particular notice were found at the location. Human skeletons, 25. Both adult and child skeletons were found in the location, approximately along with their belongings. Skeletons were estimated to have died approximately 80 years ago, with multiple skeletons featuring damage consistent with bullet wounds. That's a typo. They should just... I feel like it's really easy to fix. right? You can just change it if you uploaded it, right? Scorch and blast marks. These blast marks, too accurate for sand people. Multiple instances located around the exploration site. Analysis indicates that it was caused by thaumaturgic source. So like a flamethrower? Okay. Broken M1917 Enfield rifle, weapon commonly used by the U.S. and French Army during World War II. What? No, it's not. The Enfield's a British rifle. It should say by the UK Army. Maybe the French use. I don't remember if the French used it, but the US didn't use it. They used the 1903 Springfield or the if they were outdated. More often they would use the M1 Garand and the M1 Carbine. That's all right. That right there, issue with me. Draws me out of the experience. That SCG-45 assault rifle, weapon used by German army during World War. Okay, I get the feeling that they're not a gun nut like I am, so I guess I can let it pass. You said it was found 80 years ago, and this was made in 2020, so 1940. Yeah, this didn't come out till 45, as the name suggests. And get this, there were only like a few thousand made. Like it was not a common rifle. So the fact that it would be all the way in Spain, I don't think that's plausible. But whatever. Well, we can pass it. It's a different world. You know, it's SCP exists in the world, so I mean, it's probably a different world anyway. Deceased Obscura Corps troops. Troopers were dressed in Obscura Corps Mark II Jäger Rüstung. Literally hunter. Okay. Okay. This particular armor was used in search and destroy missions by Obscura Corps by 1943 and 1945. I guess I said approximately 80 years ago, I suppose. The armor was known as having thaumatologically enhanced and possessing an intimidating appearance. Unknown device. Device was found on one of the deceased Obscura Corps troopers. Although heavily damaged, testing revealed the device was capable of nullifying the abilities of reality benders at a range of approximately 300 meters. Stuffed teddy bear. Oh my god, that's so many interviews. Okay, well, let's start. Let's go through it. Following the psychological... Okay, interviewer, Jean. Or interviewed. Interviewer, Commander Idani Daniels, MTF Iota 15. Oises Hope. Said that wrong. Forward. Following a psychological assessment, Site Commander decided to assign Commander Daniels to interview SCP-4625 due to similar backgrounds. Commander Daniels. So, introduction, I guess. My name's Commander Idani Daniels. Mind if I call you Jean? Jean, I don't care what you call me. Commander Daniels. Alright then, Jean. Here's something you do care about. You were a fugitive runner for the resistance in France. You led Jews and other people through the Pyrenees to neutral Spain, where they would be safe from the Nazis. But that night something happened, didn't it? You fucked up, didn't you? Jean, why do you even care? 90 years ago. It's over. It didn't happen 90 years ago. It happened yesterday. What are you talking about? They died 90 years ago. So, it said 80, now it's 90? Sorry. What? Whatever. It happened yesterday for you. I'm shooting in the dark, but I'm still going to guess that you still think about it. Every time you close your eyes, you can still see what happened, can't you? I used to trail about I used that trail about 15 times already. Most of it was forest until you got to the mountains. Even then, there were plenty of caves around for us to hide in while the day passed. Before this, I'd usually only take 15, at most 20 people. I'm guessing with the fall of Paris, everything changed. You don't know the half of it. They were dragging Jews out of their houses and sending them off to camps. If they didn't shoot them like dogs in the street first. Everyone wanted to get out, and the Germans knew that too. So some of the Krauts patrolled the mountains during the main trail. This was later during the Freedom Trail of the Pyrenees mountain range. Is it related to Piranesi? Like, is Pyrenees and Piranesi, like, related, word-wise? I don't know, maybe. That's where your powers come in. A man who can be invisible and soundless. Handy for making a group of people disappear. John. Yeah, I'd cover the group in my cloak, and we'd head off, moving through the night, through the mountains to Spain. Sometimes we could cross the borders and there would be there in a single night. Other times there would be too many Germans, or we'd have not enough time. We'd end up camping out on one of the caves and to wait until the next nightfall. Daniels, which was the case that night. John, both. The group arrived late, and there were a few more crowds than I was comfortable with. I didn't want to take chances, so we hid. The next night we departed, and we were almost there when the Germans ambushed you. I don't want to see I want to see 100 dead Nazis. I haven't seen Inglourious Bastards in a long time. Okay. Or that clearing near the steep rock face. I sensed it first. When I realized I could hear someone talking from the back of the group. Excuse me. Normally I would have been silent, but I could hear them loud and clear. My invisibility field had become much harder to maintain suddenly. By the time I realized we were exposed, it was too late. Those things that ambushed us, those beasts were not Germans. They rose out of the forest around us, wearing this pitch black armor with large red glowing flames where their eyes should be. It was like looking at an evil spirit who was staring right back at you. They were Nazis too, just that they played around with magic instead. I mean, the Nazis did like weird occult stuff, right? Like as like a Hail Mary or something. I don't. Maybe like Die Glocke and Der Riese. Whatever they were, they wasted no time. Some of them used guns while others shot fireballs out of their palms. My field might make people invisible, but it didn't. It couldn't. Take your time. Cries for several more minutes before calming down. Gone. I can still see it. But the bullets and fire ripped through their bodies. The look of shock and pain on their faces. I couldn't hold the field any longer, so I broke it and shouted. But other survivors followed me out of the mess. Some of the resistance people with me tried shooting back at the enemy, but our bullets seemed to bounce off some invisible barrier. One or two went through. I could hear those monsters shout for help as the bastards fell, but it didn't take long for them to kill my friends as well. What happened to you and the survivors? It was just me and a little girl. We found an opening and made a break for it. I tried to use my ability, but I could feel something blocking them. As we took cover behind a rock, I saw one of those things carrying a large box on his back. So I took a gamble and shot him. The first few rounds bounced off, but the last got him. So they have like shields? Are these like Spartans they're fighting? Like World War II Spartans from Halo? I don't know. This is... I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing at a bunch of people getting gunned down by Nazis, but there's just something about this that's really cheesy. It's not bad or like badly written, it's just, you know... I'm sorry. I guess I don't... I'm a bad person, I guess. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. It fell back and the machine just fizzled out. I felt my powers return. Hey, it's going good. I'm reading SCP things and ranking them, and I just laughed at Nazi Spartans being a thing in World War II. When I say Spartans, I mean like Halo Spartans. They have like energy shields and like armor. How you doing? How you doing though? Yeah, I don't. I'm supposed to take this seriously because it's like a World War II um thing and like really sad stuff is happening. But then they have like weird magic stuff going on and it's like, yeah, right? Microsoft could, they could do like they could get Halo to cross over with. Oh, I guess they couldn't buy Activision because they got blocked. I was gonna say they could do like World War II Halo. That could be something cool, you know. But I'm like, I probably shouldn't be laughing. Like, like a bunch of innocent people getting gunned down by Nazis, and I'm just kind of, I don't know. It's really cheesy. I'm sorry. Okay, hang on. I need to return. I need to return to this. I told her things were gonna be all right. She was scared and she was crying and she was hugging her teddy bear. I told her she would be fine so that she wouldn't be so scared. I didn't want her to be scared. I should have. Commander Daniel grabs Sean by the shoulders and shakes him gently. Hey, it's okay. It's over. Yeah, it is less chill. Dude, the World War II had no chill. All right. I mean, okay. World War II was a tragic event, and, I don't like laughing at it, but the way this is written just makes it kind of goofy. Hey, it's over, okay? You're not there anymore. You're in this room. You're safe. I'm here. Take a breath. Take a step back. Okay, so some of this is written pretty well. I like how some of it's written, but other parts of it are just, really cheesy. I don't know. It's really goofy in some places. And it doesn't really feel like an SCP thing. I don't know, the fact that the names aren't... I mean, I guess they could be aliases, sure. But this just feels like too much information for SCP. I mean, I guess they exist, not every SCP is gonna be, and I like it when there's just, normal SCPs that don't do a whole lot, they're just kind of weird. This doesn't really feel like an SCP story, and some of them are gonna be like that. Thank you. It's just, I know what it feels like. I know it feels like a mountain, but I need to know what happened that night. I missed one. He came up from our right side and blasted a fireball at where we were. See, then I read that. A Nazi throwing a fireball out of his hand. A guy who can turn invisible. And it's just like, what am I reading? I saw it, tried to pull her away, but I wasn't quick enough. Sent us both flying back into a grove of trees. For some reason, my illusion still held. The next morning, I woke up and realized what had happened. I found her. I tried to do my best, but I can't go on anymore. Stop, please. Okay, interview was ended following the deterioration of John's mental state condition. Okay, how long is... This is a lot to read, too. Okay. Same interviewer, Idani Daniels. Okay, Commander Daniels. Hope you're feeling better since last week, Sean. John, no, more nightmares, Commander. Many more. I see her every night now. She keeps on blaming me. Why didn't you save me? She asks. I cannot answer her. I'm sorry, cannot is such a weird word to read out. And, yeah. We'll come to that in due time. What happened after you woke up that morning? John. Fine. Germans were coming, so I fled. I ran to Spain. Hid there for the rest of the war. Afterwards, I built a cabin in the woods and stayed there till you bastards picked me up. Happy? Daniels. Look, I'm sorry, alright? I didn't mean to hurt you. I just needed to know what happened so we could better understand what happened to you. You don't care. None of you do. None of you know how I feel, how it hurts. You can't even imagine what I have to go through. Daniels. Well, here's the news, Sean. I do understand what you're going through because I've been there myself. You said that before, but you never said how. How do you know how I feel, Commander? How? Because my mistakes caused me to lose people I cared about. I broke a promise I made to them. Oh. This is cheesy. Okay, I'll be honest. In stories I like and write, I don't like a lot of dialogue. I think silent dialogue is the best way to write emotions and feelings. This is a lot to read, and it's hard to kind of get through. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. Alright. It was 4 months ago. Some clinic had gotten invaded by the sentient replicating flesh blob that consumes people. We entered the clinic and it was empty, save for a corpse face down in the floor. We'd gotten a call that there were some survivors holed up in one of the back rooms. Back room? Oh, I'm just kidding. And I was so focused on that, I told Jenkins and Daniels to hold the exit while we went to check the situation out. We were there in a matter of minutes and found the door locked. People were inside safe, but then I heard screams from the front of the clinic. Jean, your soldiers? Daniels nods. Turns out the blob was smarter than I expected. It shapeshifted itself into a body at the entrance of the clinic, ambushed them when they weren't looking in, started devouring them alive. Yeah, casually, started devouring them alive. I'm probably not doing justice to the voice, but me and Jacobs rushed back to see them screaming and writhing in pain as it tore through them. Jenkins' bottom half was already just pure viscera, while Daniels had holes all over him. This thing devoured him from the inside out. Tried to shoot the blob on Jenkins, but it kept eating him up. Jacobs had a flamethrower, so he ordered him to burn your friends alive. For weeks I struggled to do anything. All I could think about was how my mistake caused 2 of my men to suffer and die horribly. My mind was torturing me, telling me I could have saved them, but I didn't. I was stuck in this loop, constantly feeding my own destruction. I came close to the edge several times. If I didn't get help, I probably would have gone over. Guess we've both been through a lot. But I endured through it, and eventually I realized something. We can't control life. We're only humans, and we're bound to make mistakes. And for people like us, mistakes don't come cheap, but life goes on. So we have to move on. Jean, how far can you move on without being crippled? Pain is still there, because we know that we'll screw up. I need to take a break, man. This is a lot of reading. I'm gonna do one more, and it's gonna be a small one, okay? Because I don't want to read this much, man. I didn't sign up to read. Our mistakes cost people their lives. Nothing we do is ever going to make up for that. How can you forget about such a thing? It just means that you don't care about it anymore. I never said we should forget the past, but we have to stop living in it. The past is the past. It has no power over us. What happens to both of us was terrible, but we have to learn to get back up. You don't get it. The pain, doesn't it still wound you every time you get up? Isn't there every time you fall asleep just waiting to torture you over and over again? What can you do against it? You're right, the pain will never go away. It'll still be there, waiting for you. But you have to carry on. That pain, and the reason you feel that pain, it's because you still blame yourself for what happened that night. But you need to realize we can't control everything. We make mistakes, and they have consequences. We have to learn how to accept those consequences. Learn from your mistakes. Be better than who you were last time so that mistake doesn't happen again. You're gonna feel fucked up inside for a long time. The pain will always be there. But time will help to smooth over some of those sharp edges, and if you can carry on doing trying to help others, like what you did before, it'll get easier. You'll still feel pain, but it'll hurt less, and you'll sleep a bit more soundly at night. And all this can't happen unless you choose to forgive yourself. But what if it happens again? What do you do then? Slow down, take a break, forgive yourself for the mistake, learn from it so that it doesn't happen again, and be better. Smiles. Thank you, Commander. Alright, last one, guys. We can do this. Same interviewer, Commander Daniels. Good morning, Sean. How have you been so far? I'm still struggling, Commander. The dreams are still bad. Enough with Commander already. I'm Adani to... Oh, don't say that. I'm gonna fuck up that name so many times. I'm Adani to my friends, and that includes you. Yes, yes, Adani. How bad are the dreams? Do they still come often? Doesn't feel like it's getting any better. I still get those dreams every 1 or 2 days. Sometimes it's the same thing all over again. Everyone dead because of me. You said that was only sometimes. What about the other times? Are they just as bad? Well, no, I guess. Once or twice some of us actually made it out. We made it to a village in Spain and hid there till the war was over. We make it to a village in Spain and hide there until... God, my, reading processor needs to get oiled or something, because I can't read worth shit. So it's actually getting better. It's hard to see, but it is there. Doesn't feel like it, that's for sure. That's because you're too focused on all the pain and misery. I know it's tough, but you'll have to search for those small respites, silver linings. You have to use them. You used to have these dreams every day, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's how I would, yeah. That's how I would say it. Now you're only having it once every 2 days. Might seem like a slow, insignificant improvement, but it's still an improvement. Over time it builds up, slowly but surely it'll be there. I don't want to feel so pathetic anymore. I just want the pain to stop, but it won't stop. And it probably never will. But like I said before, pain can be overcome. You'll feel... Yeah, I just touched something and it was weird, but it was just my chair. That was confusing. You'll feel it over time, but you'll slowly be able to numb yourself to its effects. Never completely, but enough to keep you going. And as time passes, you'll be able to wear that pain as an armor. An armor? What do you mean? It hurts me. How can I use it as an armor? It's like wearing a poisonous shirt. Not really. This pain, it's caused by your experience, by your trauma, over making the wrong call. But pain can be used in many ways. It can be a reminder, not about the failures of the past, but about the hope of the future. And it can be an armor, because even if this happens again in the future, you'll be more ready to face the consequences. I think I get it now. But what future do I have? Well, although your mental state is still slightly fragile, higher-ups have agreed that we could use someone like you in the field, and well, I'm inclined to agree. You have a useful skill set as infiltration exfiltration agent, and frankly, we need all the help we can get. Okay, when did the SCP Foundation become, good? They're not supposed to be, the old SCP, I feel like it should be a different agency, essentially. Because, the SCP Foundation is all about the means justify the ends, kinda. At least, that's what it used to be about. I don't know if... I guess a lot's changed. But, No, they would just lock this guy in a cell and send in a researcher to talk to him over and over and over. That's what classic SCP would do. I like this story, but it's just not an SCP story, really. It feels like something else. And okay. Using anomalies, that's going to backfire one day. It has, but we've learned from it. The question is, are you up for it? Not now. I still have some demons left to deal with, and I'm still scared of myself, but in time, perhaps. We're always going to be scared, regardless if it's ourselves or something else. It's also having the courage to keep moving forward, even when it seems hopeless to do so. That's how you find the light. End log. Whew, that was a long one. Oh boy. Alright. As a story, I would give it A tier. A lot of hard work went into it. It's very good. It could be better written, but it's decent. It has very good ideas. I'd like to see. I think the story would be better if it were an SCP story, and that might just be me. I think it's too descriptive, actually. I think it's a little too in-depth. I think it's too... It's not mysterious enough for my liking, personally. But a lot of hard work went into it. It's clear that the person who wrote this had passion about these characters. And, it shows through in some spots. Like, there are some pretty well-written things, but then there's other parts that are just, like, really cheesy and don't... I honestly think it would have been more potent if the Nazis or the Germans that were chasing them were just normal German soldiers. I think it would have been more potent if he had made a mistake due to himself rather than the Nazis having an occult regiment that could sniff him out. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's going above 1148, but below. No, it'll go at the top of B tier. Okay, because a lot of hard work went into it. It's a decent story. It could use a little work on the writing, but it's still good. It's still good. It's got a lot of good ideas. And yeah, B tier it is. I think it's decent. It's decent. Go to a random SCP. All right. Oh, it's so much smaller. Okay. Let's do this. Last one. Yeah, that's 5 in like an hour and a half. Oh boy. Item. SCP-1515. Object class, Euclid. Special containment procedure. Currently, the only known population of SCP-1515 is being kept in Nature Reserve 12, an extended territory of Site-32 located 39 kilometers, 24 miles, east of Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia. No, I'm not gonna do that. Any instance of SCP-1515 discovered outside of NR12's perimeter are to be exterminated. A version of SCP-027 is currently under development to assist in captive instances. What is this one? I just need to... I need a... Okay, we'll do two more. These are short. I was noticing the logo changed to the LGBT one, which is kind of cool. I don't know why the original one. I guess no one updated it. Okay. SCP-1515 is a rodent seemingly similar to... I'm not even going to read that. I can't. The spring hare. It's related to the spring hare, alright? SCP-1515 differs slightly in physiology, possessing sharper, longer claws than the spring hare and larger teeth. SCP-1515 also displays behavior inconsistent with the spring hare, as detailed below. Upon encountering another placental male in the first trimester of pregnancy, SCP-1515 will begin to viciously attack the subject, using its large teeth to sever the spine through the back of the neck, causing paralysis in the victim. The paralysis of the subject, as opposed to the severance of the jugular vein, is suspected to be a behavioral adaptation so that blood may continue to the fetus. That was? SCP-1515 generally approaches in packs of 5, which will crowd around the target before one instance emits a loud chirping which signals the beginning of the process of disabling an extraction. SCP-1515 will then perform a procedure similar to a C-section. A little rabbit can do that? Using its long claws and it will remove the foetus from the mother's womb and place in its expanding cheeks. What? Excuse me? SCP-1515 will then gnaw off the skin of the still living mother into thick sheets, which it sews together through the use of sharpened bones and sinew, again from the mother. Once the patches of skin have been sewn into a pouch, SCP-1515 will stitch the edges of the pouch against its abdomen. SCP-1515... How big are these things? Spring hair is not that big. SCP-1515 will stitch the edges of the pouch against its abdomen. SCP-1515 will then place the foetus in its pouch and leave the area. SCP-1515 has been known to share the foetus amongst the group once it has been extracted. This behavior is consistent among males and females and takes an average of 3 hours to complete. This procedure does not appear to fulfill any evolutionary purpose and is detrimental to SCP-1515's survival. The reasons for this behavior are unknown, and the reasons for SCP-1515's anomalous classifications being in direct contradiction with evolutionary theory. Okay. The foetus has invariably died from this procedure. The SCP-1515 will leave the rotting foetus in its pouch until it and the pouch are completely decayed. SCP-1515 has been known to die from severe infection because of this. In the case that there is not sufficient amount of organic matter in the foetus available to all members of SCP-1515 to share, brief or long and ritualized fights are carried out among them. Instances of SCP-1515 hunting in pairs do not usually initiate this behavior. Instead, each instance of SCP-1515 will grab the foetus by one end and begin to pull until either split or emancipated from the respective SCP-1515 instance. First instances of SCP-1515 were discovered near small colonies near Alice Springs, an area not usually inhabited by spring hare, a native of southern Africa. SCP-1515 reproduces normally. Okay. This one is really creepy in a weird way, and I like it because it's like a natural creature that's just like fucked up. And that's the kind of cool stuff, you know, that's the cool SCP stuff. It's going in A tier. Very cool, very cool. I very much like that one. This will be the last one, because I need to know how it helps with 1515. SCP-027. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. The host of SCP-027, currently Subject 027-02, is to be kept in a 5 meter by 5 meter containment cell with a grated raised floor connected to a strong vacuum system. All creatures removed from the subject's containment cells are being incinerated, except for a small portion to be diverted for analysis and necropsy. Is that like an autopsy? The cell is to be cleaned and inspected for structural damage daily. Subject 027-02 must be monitored by at least 2 personnel at all times. Any unusual behavior or vital signs on the part of the subject, or the appearance of any unusual species in the subject's vicinity, must be immediately reported to Level 4 personnel. Subject personnel assigned to SCP-027 must be inoculated against all known animal-borne pathogens and must be armed with tranquilizer guns with standing orders to subdue the subject if the need arises. Until SCP-027 is better understood, no personnel of Level 4 clearance or higher should approach within 200 meters of the subject. Okay. Description: SCP-027 appears to be a phenomenon of unknown source that appears to be tied to one human subject, currently 027-02, at a time. As host to SCP-027, subject 027-02 is constantly surrounded by swarming vermin that are drawn to his location. The subject does not appear to assert control over these creatures in any way, and is in fact prone to occasional attacks from feral specimens. Poor guy. The guy is just like standing there and like rats just keep attacking him and he's like, ah, stop. The subject does not appear to be able to, oh yeah, I just read that. The creatures are often known to attack personnel who approach too closely. Wherever the subject goes, an initial swarm of flying insects such as gnats and flies will start to form a cloud around him, usually within 2 to 3 minutes. Shortly thereafter, crawling animals, including lice, cockroaches, worms, spiders, data expunged. Excuse me? Mice and rats. What needs to be expunged from that? Crawling animals, like snakes? What? I'm sorry? Will begin to appear. The longer the subject remains in a location, the more vermin will gather there. When the subject leaves a location, some of these creatures will follow, but most will disperse. 027 has been known to transfer between hosts once upon the death of the first known host, subject 027-01. Since 027 could likely repeat this feat upon the death of 027-02, all high-value personnel should be kept far away from the current host until more is understood about 027. 027 is also likely transferred between hosts in a known number of times before containment. Research into potential previous hosts has commenced, with preliminary evidence suggesting that SCP-027 may have existed for at least redacted years. It is not yet known how SCP-027 chooses or tracks animals, or even what SCP-027 exactly is. The previous host has never expressed any sort of communication with a separate, conscious entity. Analysis of the current host has been inclusive at best. Alright, so sometime in the 90s, April 90s, I think. That is month, day, year. Is that day, month, year? Because both can be used. I'm gonna assume it's month, day, year. Okay. Subject 027-01 is discovered in an abandoned warehouse outside blank blank. That has been completely... So it's in the US, probably. Because 2 letters would indicate it's an American state, right? Like KY for Kentucky, things like that. The subject is described as Caucasian male in his late 30s, an average height, but gaunt, filthy, and covered in bites and scratches. The subject also has symptoms of deranged mental health, evidence of using heavy use of alcohol and illicit drugs, the sign of prolonged sleep deprivation. I mean, yeah, if your body's crawling with shit, yeah, I would imagine so. Sometime in the 2000s, subject expires. Autopsy shows that more than 70% of the subject's body, data expunged, a colony of rats nesting in the subject's abdomen for at least blank generations. Between 140 and 150 hours after the subject's death, security officer AF reports being awoken by having breathing problems due to a large housefly having crawled up his nose, later shown to lay eggs. Subsequent observations led to the categorization of Officer F as subject 027-02. The original host is reclassified as subject 027-1 and 027 is redefined. Okay. So sometime in the 2000s, or shortly after the subject was identified. Okay. Dr. Jameson. Good morning, officer. How are you feeling? Subject. Scared, confused, mostly scared though. Jameson. Understandable. And itchy. I feel like I need a shower all the damn time. But while inside, do you feel anything different inside you, like a presence? Think scratches his head. No, I don't think I do. I haven't really noticed anything like that. You haven't felt anything different since the original host died, besides the itching? No, I can't say I have. What about sort of voices or compulsions? Law, compulsions. Agitated. No, I haven't felt anything except bugs crawling over. I feel dirty and scared. Doctor, what about my family? You gotta get this thing out of me so I can see them again. Of course. We're going to do everything we can to get 027 out of you. God, I'm sorry, Kay. Shortly after this interview took place, Dr. Jamerson and several other team members of the research team for 027 were transferred to the SCP-1772 project. What is this one? Okay. Alright, so that was 027. Where'd my notepad go? Oh, there it is. Alright, 027. That was... Yeah, it is scary. Is this real? No, it's SCP. It's SCP. I mean, I don't know if SCP is real. It could be. You never know. Did you... You know, I used to kind of have a... I didn't think it was real, but I was like, there could be a government agency like that. I mean, I still kind of think that. That's funny though. But I got a rank 027. What would that be? Yo, yeah, oh my god, when I was young, I was like super into Slender Man. I was like, dude, Slender Man's... I lived in the woods, and I was like, Slender Man's out there. He's gonna like attack. I need to like fight him. I was about to throw hands with Slender Man. Okay, so about 027. Let me go back to 027. Hang on. I can see how it's helping with 1515. The video see. Yeah, what was it? It was Marble Hornets, I think. There we go. Didn't see nothing. Marble Hornets had a really good series. That was like... Hang on, I'm having troubles. Anyway, I really liked the early Marble Hornets when they were... What was my favorite? My favorite of the SCPs that I read today? Ooh. Give me a second. Probably... Like, if I had to choose... I only read 6 of them today, because this one was really long. Of course I know about the backroom stuff, man. Like, the Kane Pixels one is amazing. I think 027, it's creepy and disturbing, so I'm gonna do 027 at the top of B tier. You know what? Yeah, no, yeah, that'll be fine. So Kane Pixels, about backroom stuff. It didn't start out like that. It started out like cool, but then it became like a bad SCP knockoff with what's it called? With like entities and things in the background, which I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't mind there being like certain monsters in the back rooms, but then it's like, oh, to get to this level, you gotta do this thing, and yeah, I think the back rooms are kind of overrated. I like the simple back rooms, the ones that are like feed on TikTok and is confused. Yeah, it is confusing. It is. I don't think it's that good most of the time. What's the difference between this and backrooms? So SCP is more about the entities and like the foundations, where the backrooms is a lot less focused. I think like the backrooms is more about the general vibe, I guess, of the backrooms. You know, the yellow wallpaper, the thing, or the fluorescent buzzing, and like more about the atmosphere. It's definitely, you can't do as much with the backrooms because it's like one kind of phenomenon. And there's other phenomenon inside the backrooms, but it's like this. Some of them are like, they're more like weird, abstract monsters than anything that's in. I mean, like, you know, you're not going to find SCP 0 or 173 or anything like that, or even 106 in the back rooms. Like they're not gonna, they don't exist in there. It's a lot more like weird, I guess. It's weirder than SCP in a lot of ways. 173 is the statue that only moves when you aren't looking at it and can like move at you when you blink. And 106 is the guy that can like walk. He looks like all decayed and he can like walk through walls and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's there are a lot of backrooms things. There isn't like one cohesive backrooms thing, and I kind of don't think there's a cohesive SCP thing either. But it's more cohesive, you know, like it's more meshed together in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. Because it's like, you know, that's the last one I'm reading though, because my God, some of these are crazy long. Like I don't know how the new SCP stuff works really. It's like the way that they excuse me. Great, I just hit random and I got a neutralized one. Who even writes this? It's just like random people that, you know, you can like, yeah, it is open form. You like apply for like a SCP number, and you can get it depending on if the there's like moderators and things that like vote on it, I'm pretty sure. But that's the last one I was gonna do, guys. That's a lot of reading. I'm gonna do more some other time. Yeah, you should be able to. You like have to submit like a form or something like that. There's like things that you can watch that'll or there's things you can read that'll tell you how to do it. But that's gonna be my last one. I'm probably gonna move over to a game, and I'm not sure what to play though. I was probably gonna do something weird, if that makes sense. I could start my Resident Evil stream. I do got game. Actually, I have one game on my phone, and I haven't played it. It's Clash of Clans because my brother plays it. I'm not really a mobile gamer. I like PC games. You're that really? You got games on your phone? Hey man, you got games on your phone? I know what I'll do. I'm in the mood for something creepy. And you got Minecraft on your phone? Do you have Minecraft? Huh? Can I play Minecraft on your phone? That's what I expect. I'm gonna update my stream because I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. You don't play Fortnite? Oh yeah, that's right. You got Fortnite on your phone? You got COD Mobile? You got COD Mobile, bro? I don't know why I'm sounding like a gym bro when I say it. uh, Okay. I'm updating some stuff. I got the hankering to play this after watching that, or after all that. I'll be right back. I gotta get a glass of water because my throat's dry. Michael Jackson there. All right, all right. Let's uh do this. It was an SCP stream, but now that's finished. What's this? Setting up some stuff. Hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'll fix it later. Not that big a deal. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, though. Okay. I accidentally closed my chat window. All right. Could do this. Actually, okay, so Slim is a nickname I got um in high school because I moved from Michigan down to the South and everyone kept calling me Slim Shady because I was from Michigan. And so I was like, all right, I guess that's gonna be my nickname from now on. And I've had it for like years now. I'm just gonna be a tiny head down here. I'm gonna peek. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. It will be tilted though. I don't know. Anyway, I got something that we're gonna do. And it's something I actually haven't played in a while. Like one of those ancient insects things. I've heard. Yeah, that's I did. My eyes are generally massive. Um, let's see. We're gonna be doing some Phasmo because I've had a hankering to play it, and it's actually really scary to play alone. What is? I can't think of what that's called though. I know what you're talking about. Uh, God, do you remember where it's from? Uh, just a sec. Maybe no one knows what it's called. You might be right, actually. Okay. Oh look, there's an arrow here. Why do I feel so tall? Bunch of runes here. I don't know what any of this means. Let's see. Can't wait for this door to be opened. It might, I don't know, maybe it is an SCP. Who knows? I can't wait to get all the new stuff that's coming. I like that, like, a box of matches. There's gonna be match run, where all you have is a match for light. That would be amazing. Okay, yeah. This is Phasmophobia. It's a ghost hunting game, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. Uh, I'll show you how to play it. We're gonna do intermediate because I have not played in a long time. Let's do Tanglewood because I know Tanglewood like the back of my hand. It's a ghost hunting game, and it's kind of amazing actually. An add. Okay, right. I think I had my setup already. No, I don't know if I want to take all that actually. Let me just add my original loadout. I think this is my solo loadout. I could probably add, yeah, microphone. Whatever, it's fine. I have tons of money, so we'll be fine. I'll show you how to play this though. It's a great game. Uh, it's a very spooky game. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. I thought it was like really popular. Um, we'll check it out. We'll check it out. Hmm. Didn't do that, right? Okay.
All right, we're here.
Did I turn up my
Let's look at the
brightness?
equipment and prepare accordingly before starting the
I did.
investigation.
Okay.
Got the intel. Looks like this is going to be a tough one. We've had reports of violence, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
There we go. Okay. I think I have the brightness turned up. I'm gonna turn that down just a little. Okay, so our goal is to just get the house. Let's look at the name. Response to everyone. Gary Myers. Oh boy. What are the tasks? Discover a ghost, capture a 3-star ghost photo, and find the bone. I am playing on intermediate because I'm a wuss and I haven't played in a while. Always what I bring in. Oh my gosh. That heavy wind I hear? The light's on? Okay. I didn't see where the light or the switch box was. Not down here. Okay. Bone! Wow, that was quick. Get me. Okay, we want to turn on a couple lights. Oh, I just heard something fall. Is that over here? I don't think so. Heard another thing fall. What was that? Turn on the light. I don't know where these sounds are coming from. This is a nice house. If I had this house, I mean, I'm happy with my current house, but if I had this house, it would be... That might just be the house creaking, actually. I'm not actually 100% sure. I'm not very good with sound. What is that over there? We're gonna do the noob strat with the thermostat. I like that they're changing the thermostat, though. 11. I think the ghost has been through here. Maybe it's just not heating up that fast. 11 again. Let's see. See, having 2 people is nice. Hope it's not a basement ghost. Do I have a hiding spot down here? I do. Right here. I can't wait for the new update for this game. It's gonna be wonderful. Where I keep hearing things like fly off the room. Okay, there's a hiding spot back there. Oh! It was negative. Is that in here? Okay, it's in here. Okay. Ghost room found. And we actually got freezing temperature, so let's open up the journal and write that down. Freezing temperature, so it can't be spirit. Actually, that eliminates quite a few ghosts. We got demon is still in there. Cross. We'll get spirit book. Oh yeah, you can actually see like, the radius of it now. It's probably good. Whoa! Is that EMF 2? Let's go get a UV light. That's it. UV light. Here it is. See if we can find fingerprints. Yeah, this game is terrifying. No fingerprints. Can it be in... Whoa. Oh, that was my breath. Okay. We'll get a... I keep seeing things out of the corner of my eye, and it's not helping. We get dots and a camcorder. What level is that? 2? Okay. What is that? Oh, 5. EMF 5. Okay. Ooh! No! Couldn't see him for like a second. So I wasn't sure. So what was that? That was... EMF 5. Shade, Jin, Oni, twins. I do not think it's a shade, but I've been proven wrong before. So what can't it be? Okay, Ghost Orb's out of the question. Dots is an Oni. Fingerprint is Jin. I don't Okay, it's not fingerprints because it opened that door and we didn't see any fingerprints. It is a 100% chance, I think. So ghost writing, spirit box, and dots. I guess we'll watch dots for a little bit. See if anything goes up. This is emergent gameplay. Alright. This is what I'm talking about. God, if it's a shit... It's dots. Okay. Oni. Okay. Oh, okay. I got 2-star interaction. Okay. I need to capture a 3-star ghost photo. I mean, it's not like they go away, so... We're gonna do what's called a pro gamer move. Where you take a candle and use it as your only source of light. Hey, ghosty ghost. You want to show yourself? So I can take a picture of that. Interaction. Yeah, no, I knew what that was. Don't worry. I was at 100%. I can't believe I didn't take that. Well, he's attacking my sanity, that's for sure. Yeah, 3-star ghost photo. That's a good ghost photo, too. Look at that. You can easily tell what that is. Dude, he destroyed my sanity. Jesus. Repel ghost with a smudge stick. You know... What was the other objective? Below 25%. Alone? I'm not doing that alone because if you die, you just lose everything. It kind of sucks. I could go in the basement though. Maybe. Maybe. We might as well try it, right? We don't need another photo, so we'll just grab this, go in the basement. Stay quiet. Once that goes below. Though I guess it's not going to go down unless it goes out. So I guess we'll just stay in the dark. I hope he doesn't hear me. I'm being really quiet. Because they can't hear you. Very scared. You know, wipe's coming anyway, so I'm probably gonna lose a lot of this money anyway. Uh, I hate doing this. It's the worst. I should probably found what the cursed object was. Maybe even used it to lower my sanity. Why is that an objective? Like, why would your employer pay you more for getting an average sanity below 25%? I'm scared, bro. I'm so scared. I'm just sitting here. Come on. Oh boy. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's as far as we're gonna go with that. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Uh, that's as far as we're going, I think. Oh, oh boy. Well, what's this? Oh, good clipping. What's the challenge mode? I should check that out. Let's just get out of here. I have Oni written down, right? Yeah, okay. I'll check out the challenge mode, I think. Hmm.
Welcome back. I've prepared some jobs for you.
$230. Bad, not bad at all. What is the challenge mode? Correctly find the ghost type in Sunny Meadows restricted. You have to do it 3 times? Can I at least look at the difficulty? Oh. Oh. I'm concerned. Let's see what how it's gonna be. Hmm. Let's see how it's gonna go. It normally instantly hunts. Ah. Oh. It's okay.
Alright, we're here.
Oh, I don't even know what my
I've got no
sanity is.
reports of people
Jesus.
starting the investigation. Whoever was here must have summoned the ghost with a cursed object.
How you
Let's
doing?
chase it, but be careful. We don't
I'm
know what
doing
it is.
wonderfully. I don't know why I took that. I have no idea what my sanity is. True, at least there is sprint. That's nice. Man, I'm dropping a lot of frames here. No flashlight! Oh boy! That's wonderful! Oh man. I don't even know where to start. Flashlights don't work. Wonderful. And the breaker's busted. Oh. Well, let's go see what the cursed object is. I'm probably gonna die instantly. I just want to see what it is. We're gonna have to loop it. We're gonna... No! There's no looping? Oh my god. Oh, it's crawling very fast. Oh. Oh. I got very lucky right there. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. I don't think I'm good enough at the game. Especially on my own. I straight up don't think I'm good enough at the game to do this. Oh my god. Does this have night vision at least? It says, do you have to survive to get the bonus? If you guess what it is and die, is that gonna, like, that count? Because I don't know if, okay, well, it's at 150% speed, so, I mean, it didn't speed up like a Revenant, so we can count out that, right? Because it was moving like almost the same speed as when it saw me. Let's see, do you know how... I don't know how much evidence is even available. Shit. I don't think it got faster. Honestly, if it were a Diogen, though, that would be probably the best case scenario. Alright, we're gonna suicide run this. Smudge, salt, ghost orbs. Okay. We're gonna do this like it's Outlast. I think it's in that wing. Man, such a baby. I just need to get over there and figure out what it is. I'm a little baby. Ah, fuck it. This is my only chance, honestly. Where are you, Ghost? I'm gonna throw hands. Sorry? Are you roaming a bunch or something? Oh god, what if there's a twins and they spawn in different locations or something? Alright. Okay, okay, okay. You're coming, you're coming. No! It changed! It changed! What ghost does that? There's a ghost that changes. What's the name of the ghost that changes? I don't remember the name. Oh, fuck. Mimic. It changed. It's gotta be a mimic, right? Oh, no, not a mimic, not a mimic. Obake. That's it, right?
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
It just crawled on the ground. It just crawled on the ground. It was the same ghost. That ghost has 2 different animations for running. Ah. I can basically throw myself at the ghost as many times as I want, so that's good. Yeah, I thought it was Obake as well. Because I was like, it was crawling the first time. It was doing like the shuffle on the ground. Second time it was running, but it was... Oh, boy. I don't think I'm good enough for this. I think I'm gonna have to do a different thing. I haven't played in a while, so I'm actually, like, kind of bad at the game right now. This is my proudest thing, though. I don't know how to get the silver one. I get too scared now. I, like, ruined it. Yeah, it's... Professional is what I usually play on. We'll do a professional on like grid view. Grid view's pretty good. I don't want to bring too much stuff, so we'll just... Yeah. What do I not need to bring anyway? That's good, actually. This is $300 worth of stuff, so we'll see how it goes. See how it goes.
Alright, we're here.
Alright, we're here.
I've got a report that suggests a possible
Ooh,
ghost
it's sun. So does sunrise do anything? Does sunrise like do anything to the ghost, or is it just a visual thing? Because I'm not actually sure what it does. I always take a camera in because why not? It's so pretty. Yeah, I don't... Hang on, where's the breaker box? I keep forgetting to check for it. It's somewhere. It's in the garage. Okay. It's very... it would be cool if Sunrise made the ghosts like weakened or something. Wow, that's best ghost placement ever, or bone placement. As long as it's not a djinn, turning on the breaker is good. Do I have hiding spots? I do. Okay. Voodoo doll. Hope it's not basement ghost. I hate the basement. I'm gonna bring a bunch of equipment in. I'm a very big scaredy cat, so this game still scares me even though I'm like level 360. Yeah, okay. I only brought one camera. Okay. would bring at least 2. Turn on the breaker, so we might as well do this the old-fashioned way. That is doing this. Did it make the ghost? I didn't touch it. Okay. That's pretty. Sunrise is very pretty. Okay, I don't think it's over here, I'll be honest. I don't think it's over here either, actually. Back upstairs. All's in the same spot. Ooh. So it's up here somewhere, I think. Door you touched? This is full. Where are you? I guess you're a hallway ghost? Maybe in here. Okay, I guess it's a hallway ghost. Interesting. Kickball. I'd turn on that light. Maybe I didn't. Let's see. Quite busy, isn't it? Let's get our safety crosses in. In the hallway, so these actually aren't going to be that effective. Yeah. Quite busy up there. Ooh, EMF. I think EMF is probably a good choice. Give me a sign. Where'd you open that door? Over here. That was me. Okay, so unless it's a... Hey, where are you at? Where you at? Where you at? I have a camera, right? Just chilling there, huh? I left my camera downstairs. Shit. Well, looking at that ghost probably harmed my sanity, so let's go eat a pill. High sanity is how I like to play, alright? I get nervous very easily. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Oh, fuck, where did I put that? They're level 2. I just need to bring everything upstairs, honestly. Okay. Let me get the camera. I'm gonna have to manually do it since it's in a lot of different places. I swear I just heard someone whisper something. Where are you? Out there. Oh, thank you. Yo, it's going nuts up there. Spirit box. I guess I can do dots. It's definitely not freezing temperatures. It would have gotten freezing already. Interacting with like everything, which is nice. Oh, I meant to leave this up there. My bad. Mess when the ghost could like write in your notebook. What does spirit box entail? I don't think it's fingerprints either. Yeah. Okay. So what we have left is EMF 5, HOTS, Ghost Orb. It's not a mare. We know it's not a mare because it turned on lights. Mares don't do that. What could it be? So Wraith? I guess we'll do a salt test. Might be easy. Grab this. No writing yet. I think I just saw it, actually. Left. Okay, I heard footsteps, so. Where'd my camera go? Come on, camera. Where'd I put you? I don't remember. Oh, nice to try. Very funny. Heart's still beating. Dude, that's a long ghost event. Okay, we know it's not a wraith. I'm pretty sure I saw dots. Just kicked over some more. Oh, hey, ghost orbs, actually. Gotta be a yokai, then. Oh, hang on. What's a yokai? Maybe that's why it's being so aggressive. Because I've been talking so much. Hi, how you doing? We just found a yokai. Yeah, we'll anger it. That would explain why it was very aggressive. Interesting. I can do a smudge stick real quick. What was the other objective? Average sanity? Slight headache. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm all right. My voice is a little sore because I read a bunch of stuff. I gotta be quiet. Hang on. Okay, I'm good now. Yeah, but I'm all right. I'm all right. I got some water here. Gonna take a sip actually. Okay, I promise. Uh, all right. Let's see. Photos. Yeah, I'm not very good with photos. Oh, yep, it was dots. You still have to go to the supermarket. I'm sorry. I hate going out, honestly. I wish you could just get like airdrops of food. That's my ideal way of doing things. I can probably get stuff. I hate going shopping. Shopping's one of my least favorite things to do. I just like staying home. Exactly, yeah. It's the same way here. Give me a sign. Zippin'. Did you see that? Give me a sign. Yeah, fuck this, I'm out. I'm like level 300 and something, and I still am just like, nah. Uh, I'm such a baby when it comes to this stuff. I don't know. I'll do one more, I think, because it's yeah. But yeah, I don't like going shopping. It takes up too much time, and it's just not
Welcome back.
fun.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
Mm. All right. Let's do this. Camp Woodwind is kind of fun. Let's do Camp Woodwind. We die, we die. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like I don't have that much free time anymore. Ooh,
Alright, we're here. Take a look at the equipment and
there's the
prepare accordingly
generator.
before starting the investigation. Nothing to report, but it looks like whoever was here left in a hurry.
Alright, we're gonna take this, and how about this? Oh, it's snowing. Okay. Push. Whoops. Oh, I just heard a latch get undone. Sounded like it was over here. Not sure. There's so much stuff to get stuck on. Is this it? Can you give me a sign? I don't know where these are coming from. Oh, I thought I just got stuck. Let me grab a tripod. 'Cause I have no idea where this thing is. Or I have like a vague idea. Like somewhere over here or something. I'm not sure though. I'm not actually sure. And he's at 86. I feel like Spirit Box might be the best way to do this. Where are you? How old are you? Where? Oh, there. Okay. So I guess it's right here. Where are you? How old are you? That tore up my sanity, so... The fuck? Okay, that was that. That was weird. Okay. Cool. Where are you? How old are you? Turn off my lights. Could be a mirror. Temp gun? Shit, it's probably not going to help that much. Guess I get dots. It's going to be so hard to figure out. Oh, actually, you know what? I just saw a ghost orb. I was like, it's going to be so hard to get ghost orb. Nope, there it was. Okay. I mean... just cold. It's not actually like... I can't believe I caught that ghost orb. I really doubt it actually is that, but I mean... We'll grab a camera. You know what? I'm gonna grab a lighter. Oh, I just saw dots. Okay. Where'd I put the spirit box? G-board. Okay. What is that noise? Okay, let's weigh our options and figure out what it could be. Banshee, Yurei, Ai, Yokai, and Raichu. Out of curiosity, okay. Okay, I don't think it's that. I don't think it's freezing temperatures. Could be all of these other things. Fingerprints is going to be so hard to get. And I don't have a good way of actually testing fingerprints. There's a ghost orb. Can you give me a sign? I was checking something. Where are you? Okay, I seriously doubt it's a spirit box. Ball? You balling, bro? Good check. I'm sure in here. I think I'm gonna have to guess. I don't like using the Ouija board. Could find the ball though. Three. Take a look at our... Really? Trolling me. Swear to God, it's just trolling me. Okay. It's not fingerprints. Why Raichu or Thay? What's a Thay do? So it's either the literal worst or second worst. Jesus. I'm just gonna guess. That ghost is too active for my liking. Oh my god, my sanity. Hang on, what was the other ghost it could be? Yokai? Oh god, what if it is a Yurei? Hang on. I have a plan. It can't be, though. God, I don't know. This ghost is too wild for me. I'm just gonna have to guess. It seems it's acting like a Yurei or something like that. There's so many ghosts it could still be. I know for a fact it is not a banshee though. Everything else is kinda on the table. I don't think it's ghost writing. Don't think it's freezing temperatures. I think it's EMF level 5. Well, even then, I don't know. Maybe it is ghost writing. Maybe I should go check. Where did my... Go check the, ghost writing. Oh. How old are you? Where are you? I'm gonna go with the EMF level 5. Oops. Make it a Raichu. Let's just see what it is. I am confused by this ghost. That ghost is wild. What was it? It was a
Welcome back.
banshee,
I've got
but I
some jobs ready for
checked!
you.
I checked and I didn't see a fingerprint. Great, I got $37. Alright, I'm gonna, you know what, that's enough. Alright. Thanks everyone that came by. I appreciate it.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Hope you all have a really good day, and I hope that you all enjoyed. It was a little bit of a messy stream, but I'm gonna try and get into streaming a little bit more. And yeah, so thanks for stopping by. See ya. Bye.